Welcome to another episode of T-Shirt Cooking. Today's episode will be the simplest noodle recipe that you will find online.
Straight to the ingredients: neutral oil, light soy sauce, dark soy sauce, sriracha, fish sauce, sesame oil, salt and pepper, 2 packs of ramen style noodles, 3 large eggs, 4 flayed carrots, a half yellow onion, 5 garlic cloves, a small piece of ginger, and a green onion from the garden. We begin by slicing the carrot into slices thin enough so that they can cook relatively quickly. We attempt to dice the onion without losing skin, and we then proceed to dice the ginger and the garlic using my top secret method. We separate the white part from the green part of the green onion and dice the white part, and we chop up the green part that we'll use at the end for garnishing. Here we crack 3 eggs into a bowl that we will use later. We proceed to spend an additional 7 minutes removing all the shell with our one finger. Next up, the sauce. 4 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of sriracha sauce, and 2 tablespoons of fish sauce. I couldn't break the plastic, so we'll just let it pour like this. Mix, and we're good to go. We warm up a large pan and add some oil and begin to cook the carrots. We unnecessarily stir frequently. We add the onion after a few minutes and let that cook. Then we use the proprietary T-shirt cooking method of finding out if the carrots are cooked enough. We pick one up and wiggle it around as such. If it's flaccid, we're good to move on. We now add the white of the green onion, the garlic, and the ginger. We add in the noodles and lightly move them around as they separate. Once separated, because of the heat, we add in the sauce and we give it a quick stir. This should help the noodles separate even easier. We add the salt and pepper, and we make some room for the eggs. We scramble the eggs, and then we mix them into the noodles and stir the entire pot. We add the sesame oil and dark soy sauce and watch it change color in real time. We now move the camera to get a really bad shot.
Thank you everyone for sticking around. We finally come to the time of tasting. Now what I did here, and I didn't show on video, was I just put some of the green onion green part just to sprinkle on top just for photos. Now we're here, we're done the photos. It's about 20 minutes later. It's a little bit cold, but it's all good. Now once again, like our other noodle video, we won't be using chopsticks because I just can't bring myself to spend $17 on a pair of chopsticks that have very bad reviews. So instead we'll be using some silverware that was made in Italy. So to some extent, I mean, at least I supported some hardworking artisans of some sort. These were allegedly handcrafted, which is likely not true, but I was sold. And we have our once top secret ingredient, which is red pickled ginger. I'm going to be putting a bit of this on top. Just adds a bit of color. Adds a lot of flavor, clears your sinuses, smells like soap. We're good to go. Now, before I take a bite, I just want to mention that you might be asking yourself, what kind of noodles are these? I mean, are these even Oriental? Where did you get this recipe? What origin is this? Honestly, I have no idea. I just took a bunch of ingredients one day that were in my fridge and I said, let's just slap them in a pan, and it just so happened it turned out relatively good. So you could try it and maybe play around with the proportions, maybe add some different veggies inside, maybe don't. Maybe add different meat. I mean, you could use chicken, you could use minced beef, you could use so many other things. You could use pork. You could not use meat, or perhaps you could even use tofu or some other sort of synthetic, highly processed product. Now we're going to go for our first bite and see if it tastes as good as the last few times that I made it. This sort of reminds me of that one fast food chain that I won't mention in case if, just kidding, they're not gonna sue me. But it reminds me of Thai Express. Not that it tastes as good. I'm not gonna pretend that this is better than Thai Express, which in my opinion it is, but opinions are subjective. It is what it is. But it reminds me a bit of that. And I remember that the last time that one of my friends went to Thai Express, he expressed his discontent with spending $14 on a little sort of carton container, which you can't recycle, by the way. I wanna mention that really quick, which once complete, he was still hungry. So instead, I mean, something like this is maybe $6 of ingredients total, and I have at least 2 full portions. If you were to eat this with perhaps maybe a salad or some string beans or broccoli on the side, I mean, you could potentially even feed 3 people, maybe put more protein in it, do as you wish. Although this is a cooking show, if I could share a little bit of financial wisdom, I could even say that the easiest way to make more money is to spend less. And in this case, if you're spending $14 for your Starbucks coffee in the morning and $14 for your Thai Express little bucket of noodles, you're looking at $28. So if we look at gross income, that means that if you were earning about $40 an hour, which is a decent wage, I'd say, that's 1 full hour of work just to buy those 2 things if you calculate the reduction of taxes at best. I mean, if you live in communist Canada like I do, it's perhaps even $50 per hour salary to get some noodles made by some 15-year-old kid who won't care if on your way out you get struck by a car. It's very important to note that for this recipe you could also use udon noodles. I just decided to use the smaller ramen noodles for no particular reason. Those were the ones that I've had in my pantry for a little while. The noodles that I used were also a good brand of noodles. So the good brand of noodles noodles, they'll separate nicely because they're packaged with oil. Some of them may still be packaged with oil, but not as much. And perhaps that if you were to put them directly in the pan like I did, they may stick or just become a brick. Those ones you would have to maybe boil really quick for a minute or two and then put them in the pan. Thankfully, I didn't have to do that, so it skips an entire step of having to boil water on another round. I used quite a few of ingredients, but I mean, there's some of them you could even remove to make this even more simple. If you don't have any of these ingredients, I mean, don't break your head. The whole sesame oil thing, I don't even know if that makes a difference, but everybody says to put some, so that's what I did. But you don't need sesame oil, or I don't know, maybe you do, but next time I'll make it without sesame oil, it's probably going to be exactly the same. Allegedly, I was also told that there's a shortage of sriracha, which I don't really understand, because when I went to Costco, there was a bunch of jars and they were even on liquidation at $2.97 for something of that size. I don't know, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I should just go back and buy them all and resell them online. Who knows? Maybe that's an opportunity that's waiting to be exploited. There you go. I just gave you all a business idea. We're just growing here at T-Shirt Cooking. Everybody's growing. The viewers, well, okay, not me. I don't make any money here. Thank you for watching another episode of T-Shirt Cooking. I have a few other videos lined up. However, I'm just having a little bit of trouble with editing. But once we get that sorted out, we'll have quite a few interesting ones lined up for the summer. I'll see you guys next time. Best cooking show. Look at these noodles. They look horrible, but they taste great. And those usually make the best meals. The ones that look horrible just make the best meals because they end up looking... I don't know where I'm going with this. Nope, I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyways, thank you all for watching another episode of T-Shirt Cooking.